ESPN2. For more information on the 2007 Women's Volleyball Championship, go to ncaasports.com, the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. Just underway here in game number 3, as Texas has to come out with some renewed vigor here, and Jared Elliott referred to that. There is Geisen with another kill, and her kills have been very timely, Krista. She's not had a lot, but they seem to come at the right time.
Yeah, great timing by Geisen. They've gone to her just little by little, but there you see the attack leaders. But again, it takes everybody, and those little ones that Geisen's been able to find, just great timing for them.
And Lauren Pellini with a big attack. And Texas trying to come out with some more energy. And actually, I have just noticed they have changed uniforms, too.
I was just thinking the same thing. They have gone back to the old school, the throwbacks, the retro long sleeves. They had them on yesterday in their win against Florida. They decided to go with the short sleeves in this one, and they've gone back to it. Superstitions.
Maybe that's the case. We played great yesterday. Maybe this will help, but not much is going to help when Aja Couture gets that right side attack going. She has been dominant.
She had a nice match against Florida. She had 25, or against St. John's rather, 25 kills in that one, but it was a quiet 25 in my opinion. I felt, kind of kept away from her a little bit and tried to save her, I think, for this match, but found out they needed her. They need her big gun, and it's now or never for the senior.
And Aja Couture saying that it's now or never with another bombing swing. And meanwhile, speaking of bombing, it is the back row bomber Gina Urango with the jump serve back there. And once again, the Trojans have taken the lead back from the Longhorns. Hooker from the back row. We haven't seen much of that so far either.
I was just going to say, where was that in games 1 and 2? And that was what Jared Elliott, I think, alluded to. Getting back to their system, getting back to those things that can be effective. And there's no doubt that when you get a back row attack like that, Hooker flying in, there's no way to stop it.
Service missed, though, by the Longhorns. And the Trojans retake the lead 4-3, and Couture staying in to serve, and so they're going to basically, that right arm of hers is a little worn out, but they're going to use all of it in order to try to get to Sacramento. 4-all here, 2 missed serves in a row, and Michelle Moriarty going back to serve now for the Longhorns. So important for them to get off to a good start here, I would think, in game 3, Krista.
It's crucial. They have to win this game 3, and they've got to get out immediately. They really, in games 1 and 2, never had complete control, ever had control of those games, so they got to do it here in game 3.
Well set with a bomb, but somehow, as we've talked about, USC seems to find a way to keep it alive. But not that time. Too much, Fawcett.
So much emotion.
And they could use some of that right now.
They need it. 6 of her 9 kills at the break came in game 2, and now she's starting to catch fire, starting off immediately here, not waiting around in game 3.
Oh. Texas could use some of that good old-fashioned emotion, some punch in their play. But again, a missed serve, the second one already here in the early going, and that's not a great thing, because giving USC more and more chances.
Trying to do just a little too much with the serve. Allie Hilgren now back for USC. I think she's had a great defensive game. I think she's had a nice serving game so far.
Fawcett with another kill. Fawcett needs to be careful. She's doing a little bit of jaw-jacking there with referee Donna Carter. Not a good idea, I would say, if you're a freshman. I don't care how good you are.
I watch it.
Don't talk to the referees.
And especially in a close game like this, you can't afford
an extra card. Jericho that time setting the back row to Couture, but that was dug up nicely by the Longhorns. Now it's the Longhorns playing some scrappy defense, but Hooker with a hitting error. Sometimes it seems like she's just a little too impatient to play.
Yeah, that time it was down a little bit too low, not where she would typically want it, and didn't get her body quite turned around or squared on that one, and right into the net. And the times that she's tried to take a little bit off of it, those are the times that she hasn't been able to finish. I'm almost at a point where it's Hooker. I think she needs to just give it her all, get the big gun going.
And If you had to put one play in a box about this match, maybe that's the play. A scrambling defensive play by USC. An overpass by Texas, and look what happens.
Yeah, we have seen it. We have seen it this entire match. A lot of missed passes by Texas that have led to USC finishing.
Taylor Garrico turns and swings hard, and the Trojans up 8-6 here in game 3, already with a 2-0 lead. Confident bunch of Trojans right now who just look like they're out having fun. They could be playing volleyball on the beach right now.
Some of them do that at times.
Exactly. And Geisen that time off the high hands, knocking it off and then out of bounds.
Geisen. Talk about those key hits from her in the block. They were there, but they just didn't have their bodies turned and did not have their hands turned in the right direction.
9-6. Make it 9-7. As it is still a back-and-forth game, and Ashley Engel has been a consistent force throughout this match. They need to probably try and get her a bit more involved in the action in some different places. That's a good time that time. Her 9th kill.
They brought her in from the back row. She and Hooker now have tried that one, and that seems to be pretty effective for the Longhorns.
Geisen off hands that time. She just seems to find a way to find the hand either on the high end or the low end. And talk about a player who's really had a tough run of it. First year out, lost a whole season to an ankle injury. Second year to an ACL, and now she's back playing at full strength. And you know, boy, it's good to see her playing well.
It is. It definitely is. And Lauren Polini's playing pretty well also. Yeah. She's a name we haven't mentioned late there in game 2 and now into game 3 finally coming on. A player that worked really hard in the offseason, increased her vertical by 6 inches.
That's impressive.
Just phenomenal.
That's just pretty amazing. And she's, you know, and this seems almost unfair. She's 6'5" and increased her vertical by 6 inches. Is that fair?
That is not fair.
That's not fair. We shouldn't be allowed to do that. No.
Something.
Missed serve by Longhorns, brings it back over to the Trojans. But now the one thing it does look like is that the Trojans' side-out offense does seem to be back in sync now.
Yeah, definitely gotten back into more of a little bit of a rhythm. And this player, Destiny Hooker, they need her to get into a rhythm. She struggled here in this one.
Took a little something off the jump serve that time. Didn't seem to matter to USC. At that time, Geisen from the right side with a nice put away.
She was a highly recruited high school player, Jessica Geisen was, out of Los Gatos, California. As you had mentioned earlier, her parents both played beach volleyball, just kind of had that in the genes.
Volleyball Magazine's 2001 National High School Player of the Year, but had those 2 injuries. But in the meantime, here comes USC once again taking over the net.
And again, it was all about the serve. You got your Rango, your top server back there. She put everything on that when the pass was off. Joust at the net, USC wins.
13-9, just like that. USC back with a lead. And there's only so much coaching that Jared Elliott can do at some point in time. His team has to, as he said to you, perform what they played all season long.
Get to this point, and you kind of have to leave it up to your senior leaders and the other leaders on the court to try to get it done.
Plenty of senior leadership out there for the Longhorns between Michelle Moriarty, the great setter, Brandy McGee, and Allison Jennings, the outstanding libero. There's plenty of leadership out there that's got to step up and play.
Jared Elliott's senior group, that was really his first full recruiting group that came in as freshmen when he went to Texas.
Another missed serve. That's the 3rd missed serve for the Longhorns here, and we're only at point 14 for the USC Trojans. So that's 3 of their points given to them. Just handed over.
This is that point right here, Phil, where Texas needs to try to go on a little run, take control, not let this game 3 get out of hand. They're right in it, but as you said, they can't have those service errors and those little things.
Fawcett with her 4th kill already here in game number 3. And now basically I think she's telling him, look, just feed me the ball. I'll swing. I'll swing hard. And Copenhagen cuts inside the block. And once again, USC has found a way with defense and passing to take a lead. 15-11 here, already up 2-0. NCAA Women's Volleyball Regional Finals presented on ESPNU by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Up to the minute news for everything that is college sports. Log on to ESPNU.com. This online service is a gateway to the best in college sports content from ESPN. Combine the latest news, scores, features, video highlights, podcasts, and much more. If you don't have ESPNU, be sure to log on to ESPNU.com, type in your zip code at the top of the page, or call your local cable operator or satellite provider. Log on to ESPNU.com today. We return to action here with Texas getting the ball back, trying to find a way to stem the time, and Fawcett that time with the right side. And that's one of the most surprising things that I have seen all year in volleyball.
Because we just saw this team just control a match yesterday. Today they have struggled. They have been out of system.
Almost continually. Even they have played better here in game 3, I think, Krista, but it seems like USC just kind of weathered the storm and just kind of said, okay, get your swings in. It looks really impressive, but it's still 1 point, and we'll just kind of hang in there.
Well, I think game 3 going up 2-0 for USC, it's a different kind of pressure for them as well. You've got to try to not tighten up. You've got to allow yourself to try to continue to play that loose, fun style of play that you've been playing, but you know how crucial this game 3 is, and you know that Texas is going to come out right at you.
Yep. New jerseys and all. Texas coming out. But Couture has just been dynamite on the right side.
Way outside that time, Couture was, but the block was there. They were a little far off the net.
Such a hard ball to block when she's swinging from the back row.
It is, and it's amazing how well she follows through and puts it down.
14 kills for Couture, and USC with an initial stop. And a scrambling play, and once again, USC just seems to find a way. Again finds a way. But finally, Ashley Engel just finally says enough.
Finally, an overpass for Texas that goes their way. Great hustle by both teams on that point.
14-17, Texas trails by 3. And Hooker that time going over on to 15-17. The NCAA Volleyball Regional Final. We are live from the Stephen C. O'Connell Center on the campus of the University of Florida at Gainesville, presented by ESPNU on Enterprise. On ESPNU by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. This is the number 5 USC Trojans and the number 4 Texas Longhorns. Phil Bush and Krista Blunk bringing you all the action. Texas now starting to come back. It is 16-17, and some of the power of the Longhorns beginning to show its mettle.
A lot of it has started with their net play. They've gotten some nice touches up there with the block, and they've had great reaction and finishes.
Couture that time stems that run, that time hitting from the left side. Left side, right side, any old side. Couture just seems to be all over the place, and when they need a kill,
they found her. They go to her. She's got the arm. She just puts it away. So much power.
Hooker that time going straight down. As only somebody who's 6'4" and touches 10-10 can go straight down. Ball goes down in an awful big hurry.
That was definitely what was missing. One of the big pieces missing was Hooker serving right now. Her serve was off. Her hitting was definitely off. We did not see that down the line shot.
But, you know, that big serve of hers been neutralized by outstanding passing. Allie Hildren that time just said, yeah, bring me another one.
Yeah, she's the best. Hooker's their best server, coming in 26 aces in that back row of USC.
Hildren just handled that and said, thank you very much. Thank you for playing, but I'll take this ball. USC finding a way. Copenhagen, little chop shot down the line. These seniors are just finding a way to get the job done.
What reaction time by Copenhagen. And then she